Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Modernizing Your Network webinar series we're doing. Today, we're modernizing for mobility. Before we get into that, I just wanted to go over with who we are. So we are Esteem. We've been established for 38 years. We've been doing this wireless networks. We are actually the manufacturer and owner, and we control all of our own IP and life cycle of our radios. We're USA made. We're manufactured right here in Kennewick, Washington, and we have everything from licensed radios to unlicensed radios, 150 megahertz all the way up to 5.8 gigahertz. We have about 45,000 modems in service worldwide. And some of the major markets we're involved in is the water and wastewater, the oil and gas, the mining, material handling, power and energy, agriculture, infrastructure, factory floor AGV. Now, what we're really seeing in all these industries is this digital transformation. We really started from device to device, your serial-based connectivity. And now we're transforming, we're really Ethernet-based now. And we, instead of going from device to device, we're going something that can be fully networked. So in these digital transformations, some of the most common things you need to have for a connected network are your reliability, your persistent data acquisition, your edge-to-edge cybersecurity, your layer 2 and layer 3 connection types. Your network data needs to be on-premise, in the cloud servers, or both. Has to be scalable, needs to be cost-effective and future-proof, and it needs to be frictionless IT/OT interoperability. So getting into the network side of this, you have this connected model. So you have these 4 pillars: your things, your connectivity, your data, and your analytics. So we need to take our things and be able to connect it and gather that data and analyze it on the go, mobilely. So what we're going to talk about today is modernizing your wireless network for mobile connectivity. So mobility provides the key data to the people and the devices where needed. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to put that data that we just talked about that we need to collect into the hands of the people who need to see that information most. And they need to be able to constantly be analyzing that data, and it needs to be reliable, and it needs to be persistent. So how do we really get that reliability and that persistent data in our mobile network? Well, we got to start with wireless 101. There's no good or bad frequencies, but there's a right and a wrong frequency, and there's a disadvantage and advantage. So we're going to kind of go through that to show you what we got for our wireless mobile networking and roaming. So mobility is a key benefit of a wireless application. Everything's moving, and it now needs to be able to deliver that speed. It needs to roam. And what we're really looking at is the 900 megahertz, the 2.4 gigahertz, and the 5.8 gigahertz. So we got some options. Well, now we have to figure out which unlicensed frequency is best for this mobile application. So, you know, like we just talked about, we got these options, and there are advantages and disadvantages of every single one. So let's start with our 2.4 gigahertz. Some of the advantages of this is that increased speed and data rates. You're going to get up to 300 megabytes in real world conditions. It's Wi-Fi, so those third-party Wi-Fi devices, your tablets, your laptops, they're able to be connected to this. You're going to have that self-healing mesh technology. So some boundaries to consider is line of sight is required, and because it is Wi-Fi, there are some cybersecurity liabilities. So that brings us to the Esteem Horizon 2.4. That's going to give you the industrial mesh technology. This single device can do multiple modes. It can do everything, your AP bridge, your router, your masquerade and station modes. You're going to have your layer 2 and layer 3. It's going to be simple communication and configurations. It's going to be private and secure. You're going to get that 802.11 for the Wi-Fi third party. So for the client access, your tablets, your phones, your thin clients, the people on the factory floor are going to be able to access the data. So our next option is 5.8 gigahertz. So this has some advantages. Again, 300 megabytes in the real world. It's a Wi-Fi frequency, so you're going to have those tablets and laptops that are going to be able on it. Self-healing mesh technology, 17 channels of operation. Okay, some boundaries. Line of sight is absolutely required for the 5.8 gigahertz. It's license free, which that means it's shared with some other users in the area with potential interference. And again, that increased cybersecurity liability because it does have the Wi-Fi. So our esteemed Horizon 5.8 is going to have that industrial mesh technology, layer 2 and layer 3. Again, the single device can do those multiple modes. It's private and secure. It's simple configuration. It's 802.11 compliant for those tablets, phone, thin clients. The next option that we have is a 900 megahertz. Now, this is the most forgiving in the line of sight obstruction. You can have some trees and some buildings in there. It's better range. This is a non-Wi-Fi frequency, so it's increased cybersecurity, and it doesn't interfere with the Wi-Fi networks in the same area. Some boundaries to consider. It's a non-Wi-Fi frequency. No third-party Wi-Fi devices, your tablets, your laptops, your Wi-Fi sensors, bandwidth and data rates. So while we're in the 900 megahertz, the 900 megahertz radio really evolved. It used to kind of be like a hub and spoke radio, and it used to be too slow for the digital transformation that we talked about a little bit ago. And we've had some people call and they're like, I love the 900 megahertz, but it can't keep up with today's demands. So we introduced the Steam Horizon 900. So it's again, license free. It's going to have that married Wi-Fi technology. It does roam. It's going to do mobile roaming between Horizon 900 APs. The single device can do the multiple modes like our other ones, layer 2 and layer 3, and it's private and secure communications. And there's no Wi-Fi on this, so it makes it secure. Now, when we get into this, when we're talking about modernizing for your mobile network, what we're really talking about is mobility and, the mines. We have this big open pit mines that need the mobile trucks that are going down into the mines. We have our autonomous sprayers and pickers out in our agriculture. We have our AGVs and robotics on the factory floors. And in your material handling, we have our stackers and reclaimers and our overhead cranes. So how do we kind of set those up? So rarely are these in fixed locations, so it's up to the wireless network to provide the data on the move. So the radio can be configured as a mobile client, and it's going to function the same way as a cell phone, tablet, or laptop does inside of a Wi-Fi network. The difference is that it's designed so it can automatically roam between multiple access points. Our access points are up here on the top, and we're going to roam between these access points. So if you're on a large plant or factory floor and you have an AGV you're communicating to, instead of creating a link to each access point, you can put the radio in client mode and it will link to the access point that has the highest signal strength. It's going to automatically change between these access points, which is going to create a wireless canopy so that mobile clients can move within it for that constant data coverage. So now that we know that mobility is achievable and all the options we have, that's going to give you that reliability and that persistent data acquisition. you can have some options. You can go with your 2.4, you can go through 5.8, you can go through 900 to give you that speed that you need. So we actually have a whole modernizing section on our website. You can go there and you can click and you can see the what, the where, and the how. And we do a little dive deeper into all of these. So you can see modernizing for Ethernet, modernizing for reliability, cybersecurity, mobile applications, which is what we went over today. Up next is we actually have the Wi-Fi connectivity. So that is going to be on August 17th at 8 a.m. And that'll actually be with Phil, and he's going to go over modernizing for your Wi-Fi connectivity. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email or give me a call, and we will be happy to talk to you about modernizing your wireless network. Thank you.